my god, I actually hate listening to that in my ears.
And
YouTube, it is your favorite gamer here, Above Average Cody, coming at you with a reaction video. I know, something new here on the channel. I actually got recommended this video a month ago from Movies Insider, and it's how the sounds in Halo are made. And it is like a behind-the-scenes thing from the audio team on Halo Infinite on how they made some of the crazy sounds in the game. So we're going to go through this. There's some crazy stuff in here that even blew my mind, and we're going to jump right in, and I'm kind of gonna give you guys my thoughts along the way here. Guys, the craziest thought about this is Halo is a made-up game in the world of outer space or what have you. It doesn't actually exist. The guns don't actually exist. So you can't just pick up the gun like you would in Call of Duty, you know, hold a mic up to it and shoot it and then use those for the sounds. They literally made every single sound using all kinds of different stuff. So let's see some of the things they did, and it's absolutely kind of crazy here.
Delivered in countless variations to the player.
Big rust bucket of a tractor, it looks like.
But it's also just important from a gameplay perspective.
And then the sound designers, like, the amount of things they actually did for a video game is just baffling to me.
Halo, a first-person shooter game, is this.
And obviously they're going to go over the shooting first. I feel like that's the most basic
we kind of always
thing.
break it down into components. The punch is kind of a low frequency.
And I mean, obviously gun sounds are gun sounds. It's just interesting because, like I said, nobody's going to run out and pick up a battle rifle from Halo on the ground, or a skewer, or an S7 sniper.
And satisfying for the player.
The grapple, too, that's interesting. They used a vacuum for the grapple, guys.
Planks of metal.
But it's crazy what you can do when you hold a mic really close to something and then edit, like, the crap out of it. Hey, my controller! They used my controller for the reload sounds.
The sound of the gunshot bouncing off the environment.
Imagine going to all these different places to shoot these guns and just recording it. I think the sound makers arguably have a more fun job than the people making the game. It's also crazy because you don't really notice when you're playing the game that all the guns sound different. Yeah, adaptive sound design. Like, if you're in different places in the game, it sounds completely different.
So you have to take those considerations deeply when you're designing your material so that it can work in any of those types of situations that the player might encounter.
And the sound also gives players feedback about their actions, like when they fire.
I think that's part of communication.
Like, they literally could have just made everything sound the same. Like, it sounds the same inside, outside. But, like, all you people love to hate on games, people would rip them apart if the sounds were off like that. So it's just awesome that they go bananas making it right. This just opens your line of thinking to things you never even think about.
To create the alien feel of the weapon. Some created by
Do you think they're paid to try to use Xbox equipment since Microsoft owns Halo? I've seen an Xbox controller used for sounds and an original Xbox.
Sound design is that it
Pretty
all has to
suspicious
be
if you ask me.
synthesized or come from an unnatural place.
A
You have to
slinky.
ground it a bit because if you have a
Dude,
sound
what
that
is
just
the
comes from
quality of
computer
their
and the
video?
software, it could stick out too much.
The quality of these
Put it all
sound
together, you
videos
get
are
a sound like
fantastic, and
this.
then theirs is like horrendous. Oh my goodness.
There are some core sounds that
But
exist
Insider
that
probably
are
didn't film this.
player-based,
Looks like it's from like a
really
live stream or
gravitate
something. They
towards the
probably
sounds that
discussed
you
it
just
before the
can't
game came
change.
out.
They will let you know about it, and they will give you feedback. Like the shield recharge sound is one.
Them talking about how the community will
Neuro
tell you the
sounds
moment there's
included the
something
plasma
wrong.
pistol, which required a very specific type of sound.
What do they use for the
Needed a lot
plasma?
of like goopy sounds for plasma sounds.
Goop.
We were just kind of looking for just very interesting.
God, dude, they had the most
chemical
fun job on the
reactions.
team,
We
no
were looking
cap.
for things that give it a lot of like organic qualities, almost lifelike.
Just going
almost
outside and
creature-like
trying
in
to
a
make
sense.
different
What
sounds.
they landed on was heating up these pineapples and watermelons to temperatures of up to 5,000
safe.
degrees Fahrenheit, which made them explode.
That's the plasma
Besides the
pistol,
actual
is a
firing of the
blown up
weapons,
watermelon.
impact and destruction
Or
sounds give the
pineapple.
player a second form of sonic feedback.
That's so
for any
weird,
combat
dude.
action
How many
taken
things
in
you
the
think they
game.
blew up and they're
To
like,
make
that's
the
it?
destruction
That's
sounds
the
fresh
one.
for
That
Infinite,
sounds
the team
just like
not
a
only
plasma
reported
pistol
a
to me.
range of new explosions.
Dude, this must have taken so long. This is the stuff you don't think about when making a
They
video
also
game.
got their hands on an old piano, a prop they'd coveted for a while, and proceeded to destroy it. using everything from a hammer to a baseball bat to concrete blocks.
My God, dude. What if they didn't get the sounds they wanted?
A block of dry ice,
That's it. Get another piano.
Get
Get these ads out of here.
To exposed parts of the piano, which produced this.
Ugh.
Dry ice gives
That
you
sounds
very
disgusting
alien-like
in my
textures 'cause
headset.
it'll just
I turned it down
resonate
for
on
you
any
guys
type
for the
of
sake
resonant
of me
material you
talking
put
over
it
the
on.
video. Ugh. That's crazy. You would have never even noticed that that little sound on top of Master Chief falling.
Halo's
Never would
vehicle
you have ever
sound design
noticed.
was often grounded in real-world cars, boats, and planes.
That's simple, yeah. Using actual vehicles to make vehicle sounds.
Like when
That's
the
not.
team
That one's
rented
not
out an
shocking.
airport runway to record everything from dune buggies to a Black Hawk helicopter.
All right, that's kind
The
of
team
sick though.
also tracked down this rare vintage steam-powered tractor and recorded it for the
They
sounds of a
arguably, of all the
futuristic
things,
tank
this
in
is
the
probably
game,
the most
using a
extra.
machine from 1918
They used a futuristic tank
to stand in for
in-game
one from
with the sound
2500s.
of a super old
You're recording a
steam-powered
tank, It's going to
tractor.
be very hard to get away from the engine sound of the tank, but if you record a vehicle like that steam-powered tractor, you get a lot of the mechanical and metal movement as it travels over things.
It's a tank, but we don't want it to
Vintage
sound like a
machinery
tank.
works surprisingly well for sci-fi sounds.
It sounds good
For
though.
one, it tends
Like
to be heavily mechanical with lots of moving parts.
you hear these sounds and
And
you're like,
it's
that's
also
so Halo,
foreign.
but it's just everyday
Because
stuff.
it comes from such an old era, people aren't very familiar with it, so it can be kind of sci-fi.
That's a good point. I've
They're
never
basically
heard a
making
steam-powered
appropriate
tractor,
sounds
but
from
apparently I've been
inappropriate
hearing them.
objects.
When it's not an antique steam engine, it could be something as mundane as this.
This dude recording his
I had to
coffee
make the
pot.
sound of some vehicle thrusters as a vehicle moves forward. One morning, I happened to be making a coffee. My coffee maker
Yeah,
starts
right.
like burbling in the background.
No
and
way.
all of a sudden, it occurs to me like, oh, that's the sound I need.
Yo,
I can
these
probably
dudes walking around with mics on them, and they're like, "That's it. That's the sound. That's the sound. Get the mic." Or, dude, they're probably in the office, and they're like, "Yo, who just made that sound?" And they're gonna be like, "Yo, I made that sound." They're gonna be like, "What did you just do to make that? Can you do that again?" And run over with their mics from all the different angles. No, do it different.
work
That's
with that.
literally what I imagine these guys do for a living.
To
It's a sweet
fully
job, though.
transport players into the world of Halo, the
It's like
team
they have a
had to
long
create
checklist of
18
sounds.
ambient
They're like,
sounds
plasma
for every
pistol,
single
got it,
environment in the
dude.
game. And Infinite is the
It's
most
crazy.
expansive Halo game yet.
Why is it zoomed in
Unlike
so
a film
far?
where you like would know exactly what footstep someone's going to take and what surface they're going to take that footstep on, you have to account for every surface type in the game, every interaction that a footstep could make with that surface.
I feel like the
Listen to the
footsteps
crunch
make
below a
like the
player's
most
foot
sense. Like
in the
that's not
industrial
shocking.
zone
That's something you definitely notice.
versus in the open outdoors.
And like I've seen this stuff with like movies before where the dude's like in
When
the
you're,
dirt
like,
with the mic
designing
like
a
slamming his
soundscape for a
hands on it and
map, make
turning it
sound
up
like
and
the world
stuff.
is alive,
It's crazy.
but it's also on an alien planet.
They like to start with something that exists in the real world.
Dear God. Just take some grotesque
Tyler
sounding
Robbie
creatures
even
and they're like,
spent
those
2
are
weeks
aliens.
in Tasmania, recording a huge array of wildlife, including birds, monkeys, Tasmanian
These
devils,
dudes
and even
traveled to the other side of the world to get animal sounds for a video game.
the rare sound
I
of
respect
tigers
it, dude.
mating.
That is highly
Then
typical.
processing comes
That's
in.
actually
You start with
impressive.
something that's like an organic animal sound, and you figure out a way to augment it so that it sounds kind of otherworldly.
Like these goose calls they recorded,
Goose.
and then slowed down by 500%.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
to
If
make
you
them
slow it
sound
down or speed it up, it doesn't
significantly
even
more.
like, it literally doesn't even sound like the creature you recorded it from. Like, I bet this is going to sound like something bananas,
Unsettling.
dude.
Some animal sounds
That shook my
require
headset.
less manipulation, though.
I do have a
because
little
they're
loud,
pretty
though.
weird to begin with.
No, this is just
Like bunnies and
adorable.
pugs.
Now I just noticed these like kind of just really crazy kind of alien-like sounds coming from him.
Alien like
After
stuff.
recording the
Hey,
call
yo, bro,
noises
can I
in the
borrow
studio,
just 5
they
minutes? Can I
used
borrow
them
your
for
dog?
Environmental sounds, like the sounds of these space
My
gophers.
God, dude. Space gophers.
The team says that in a future
Literally
update
doesn't
of
even
the
sound
game,
like a
the
pug.
pug sounds will return for something really special.
It's probably
What
going to
that
be
is,
for
they
some
can't share
creature we
just
haven't
yet.
seen yet. But this was from a month
Since
ago,
there's
so I don't know.
theoretically no limit to how many times a player might hear these sounds, The sound designers also have to be wary about sound fatigue.
Yeah.
Big thing was being really thoughtful about how much high frequency content.
Literally, they don't
very
reuse
conservative about
any
our low
sounds,
frequency
like-
so that the mix doesn't be.
Literally, so I think they mentioned something about, like, you sit here and play this game for hours. So if a sound is reused, you're going to be like, hey, wait, I've heard that sound before. And it's shocking
They
how a
have to
lot of
balance
games
those
manage to
concerns
not
with
do
keeping
that.
signature
Like,
Halo sounds alive.
that sounds
and
so
sticking
cool.
To the
Oh my god, the
original concepts that
massager.
experienced players have grown to know.
Dude, that's gotta be such a fun joke. Oh my
And
god,
while
dude, that
most
was like a
viewers won't
crunched
notice,
up
experienced
windshield. I can only imagine the sounds that came out of
Players
that,
have grown
honestly.
to know. And while most viewers
Yeah,
won't
see,
notice,
like,
if
that's the
movies
area.
reuse
Yeah,
sound
see,
effects,
I've seen people do that for movies where they're, like, crunching the rocks on, like, grass
people
and stuff.
spend dozens of hours playing a
Yeah.
game like Halo. So Halo sound team will keep seeking out real-world sounds.
Yeah,
they can
exactly,
use
because
out
if
of
they reuse the
context in the
sounds, all
game
you little
to create
gaming
a
snobs are
truly
going to be like,
one-of-a-kind
wow,
sound
dude, they
for
really
players.
couldn't make a different sound for that. They just had to copy and paste it, and everyone would literally be all over it. Dude, I literally have to see some of the comments on this video, because the Halo community, dude, they go crazy sometimes. Infinite sound design is really fantastic. This was really interesting to see their thought process. That was actually pretty good. Maybe these are going to be wholesome. Imagine being inside the mind of a sound designer. Like, I could make a campfire using twigs and bacon, or I wonder if I could take my wife screaming at me and slow it way down so it sounds like a Titanic ocean monster. Must be one of the most fun jobs you can have, honestly. As someone from Tasmania, I always wondered why some sounds in Halo felt so familiar. Word? Dude, they literally just went absolutely insane on the sound, and that's, like, really cool. But, like, it's something you don't appreciate unless you see it. So I'm glad this video was recommended to me. I'm glad Insider did this. Not associated with them in any way, shape, or form. I hope this video doesn't get claimed for me using it, but it was just really cool. I want to share it with you guys. At least I thought it was really cool. So that's my first reaction video, reacting to the sounds. And just, I really like to imagine the idea of them literally just stopping everything they're doing because they heard one really good sound that they wanted to use. But all right, guys, that does it for this video. Let me know if you want to see more content like this. I mean, it's definitely something new. I don't know how I feel about just watching other people's content, but everybody else on YouTube does it, so maybe it's not that bad. But a lot of gaming content here, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on the video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought the most interesting thing was from this video. And again, it's how the sounds in Halo are made. Movies Insider. You can search up on YouTube. That's where I found it. So if you want to watch the original video yourself, show it to your friends. And then that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned for the next video.